I ask you this first question. What defense were you in when you made that interception? Was it man-to-man or zone?
Oh, we were in a zone. They ran like a little crosser, and so when he was running to the flat, I knew I had a safety over there to help, and the safety came up ready to make the hit, and I think, Marcus came down low, and because of the pressure that he was playing on tight end, he couldn't really focus on the ball, and the ball bobbled off on his back. And when I saw it, I had an opportunity to grab it, and so when I grabbed it, I wish I could have stayed up, but it's all good. We got the ball. Offense scored on the next play.
Me seeing you so many years with different teams, you have improved on pass defense as far as, we know you can tackle, you're very physical, but do you think you have improved on getting into the dead spots?
Yeah, man, I think that was an important part. Coming from New York here, and they asked me to play wheel linebacker, so I kind of had to train a little bit different to be ready to play out in space. The wheel get isolated on running backs and tight end, and so that's something that I take a lot of pride in. Because I know those matchups are going to come one-on-one in the slot, every game and on the outside, and so just being in position to make plays on the ball. Make those tackles if they do check it down to a running back. A lot of times you're dropping in underneath the one receiver, coming up making those tackles, not let them get extra yards. Just something I've taken a lot of pride in, and I know it's important for our defense for me to be able to make those plays.
All interceptions. Talk about the defense and how they played today.
Just tremendous effort all around. First, you got to give the coaches credit for giving us a good game plan. The front did a good job of getting out to Jameson, forcing them to release the ball at times when he didn't want to. And the DBs did a good job of taking off the top, making sure they wasn't able to get the explosives that they like to get. I mean, they're one of the most explosive offenses, in the league as far as deep balls. And, you just got to, we did a good job of taking that away and making them do something else. And when the ball came out, we were able to make plays on the ball. And it was just a fun day, man.
Playing against practicing against a guy like Kamara every day in practice and working in space, do you guys work one-on-one with each other at all? And just going against him, how much does that make you a better player probably?
Oh, man, I think that's probably what's helped me the most in emerging as being, an elite coverage linebacker is going against Kamara and Jared Cook. So when you're going against looks like that, you're getting an all-pro look every rep. And so from one-on-ones and OTAs to minicamp, even in practice this week in a one-on-one, Alvin caught me in space and gave me one that went almost to the house. And so, it's like when I'm going against Kamara and Cook, all week when I get into a game with these tight ends and running backs, it's like ankle weights theory. I've been wearing ankle weights now. I'm able to just fly around and play. I think that's what helps a lot.
You can be able to convince him to play some scout team as you get ready for Christy McCaffrey.
Oh no, man, no, man. I mean, we got some good looks. Our scout team guys give us a really good look, man, and we've got some jitterbugs over there too. And it's important that we get those looks. And I'm just always trying to find a way to make plays for our defense.
You said will linebacker wasn't where you were playing before, and you kind of converted to that position. Do you take pride in now being the kind of guy who can match up against a McCaffrey who's playing at MVP level this week?
Man, I mean, it's important the more you can do in this league. It's like whatever my coaches, they feel comfortable. If they want me inside, they know I can be a field general on the inside. If they want to put me out in space and coverage, they know I can do that. If they want me to pressure the quarterback, they know I can do that. And I just want to give my coaches that kind of comfort that wherever they put me, they know it's going to be, successful matchup. And so I think I've been blessed, man. I really have been blessed, to go to a lot of different situations, and those situations have prepared me for the one I'm in now. And so my coaches call my number, and I got to get those matchups one-on-one on the outside. I take a lot of pride in being able to make those plays, man, and it's important.
Sorry about that. Coach Payton said, mentioned you and your leadership role on defense. Is that something you take pride in?
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that leaders are born, they're not made, and so you're either going to lead for the good or you're going to lead for the bad. You're going to be a positive influence or a negative influence. So it's always important for me to be a positive influence on and off the field. I want to reflect greatness to my teammates, in how I prepare and how I play the game, but also in how I live life. I'm always first give glory to God. I'm always, keep my wife second, and keep my children third, and so then football and everything else come after that. And so I think a man with priorities is always going to, set a good example for, his arena. So right now it's the locker room and the community and the city. And so I'm just always trying to be a good influence in that way.
Not that you would, play any different going into a contest like this, but just knowing that the secondary's without Marshawn Lattimore, the front seven just in general, do you approach it any differently, or is it a part of the mindset that we got to figure out a way to generate more pressure to help those guys on the back end?
Nah, I mean, it's a next man up league, so the guy that steps into that role, you know, PJ had to go from nickel to the outside, and him and Eli, you know, did phenomenal out on the outside. And so you just commend those guys for taking that approach. You know, they have to take their game to the next level because, you know, they're playing out of position, so putting the preparation, putting the study in. You just commend those guys. For us, I mean, the game is still the same. You know, we're not paying attention to what's going on in those combinations out there, especially when we're trying to get pressure on the quarterback. And so those guys have to do their job. But, I mean, the secondary played phenomenal today. The front played phenomenal. 4 turnovers. When we were down a man, you know, that's huge.
You know what I noticed? You know, last week y'all had a tough one. Y'all were focused today. It's no question about it. When you went out on the field, and you guys prepared very well for the football team today.
Yeah, man. You know, life is not, you know, how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and get back up. You know, and so we kind of got knocked off balance last week, and it was important for us to catch our footing and not let a hit turn into a flurry. And so I think we responded the right way, and we've got to keep going.
Did you feel like today was one of Kiko's more active games? And I'm sure, like, anytime someone's a new player on a new team, like, maybe it takes a couple weeks to kind of find where you fit, right?
Yeah.
Did you sense
Oh,
that?
man, he was, yeah, you could see his explosion and electricity out there today, man. He was flying around making some plays, man. And, man, he's a phenomenal backer, man. I've had a lot of respect for him before he even came here. And never in a million years that I think we'd be on the same team. And, man, he flew around and made some plays out there, man. And, you know, making those plays is important for our defense. I mean, down the field, making a big PBU, almost in on a sack, TFLs. I mean, he's just a phenomenal football player, and I think the more he kind of gets into his groove and get his feet in the ground, he's just naturally going to make those plays. He's been doing it for a long time.
Well, I think I asked you last year if you were playing the best football of your career, and then now I can ask it again this year. I mean, if you just keep, you know, feel like you get better every year?
Yeah, man, you know, it's a blessing. It's a blessing, you know, to be 30 years old and playing my best football. Each year I keep, you know, ascending. But I tell you what, man, I can't give nobody the glory but God. You know, when I was in Cleveland, God kind of humbled me, and you know, I just had to spend some time with him and realize what he was telling me. You know, I needed to humble myself, and I went and he showed me I needed to critique my game a little bit more, spend a little bit more time and working smarter, not harder, and I did that. You know, and refocused my attention on him and being obedient to him, and critiquing my game. You know, whether it was, you know, being a better blitzer or being better penetrating in the backfield to covering. You know, and so that critique, you know, and then taking it to New York, and then last year and this year, just seeing that ascension, you know, I can't get nobody the glory but God, because if he would have never humbled me, you know, this wouldn't be happening. And then when you think about, you know, the abnormality of it, you know, how, you know, this is unseen or unprecedented. You don't see guys, you know, at 30 getting better, you know, and so, like, when you see something unusual like that, you got to look no farther. It's the supernatural. It's not natural, you know, and it's not rational, it's irrational. And that's the kind of God I serve. He is irrational, he is supernatural. And, you know, the first thing I was talking to my man here, because we've been talking for a long time.
Amen.
And you just see the power of God, yes. You know, and so, you know, you hear the man of God and the headband, and people see that, and you could think it's whatever, but, you know, I know what it means to be a man of God and a child of God and sitting before him. And I get to just be a witness like y'all, you know, and so I'm surprised to be playing at this level too. You know, and so even though I put the work in, but, you know, it's just, you know, it's not normal. And, you know, we'll see what the ceiling is.
Was there a part of you that thought maybe a couple of years ago, like, your best football was behind you in that sense at all, or athletically from a body? So, I mean,
yeah, man, that's the way I talk about the power of God, and I have no shame in it. When I was in Cleveland, man, God humbled me to the point, like, he broke my body all the way down. I was tired. You know, I was hurting. Mentally, I didn't know if I wanted to continue to play. And, you know, I went in my prayer closet and just prayed before God and said, you know, God, if you want me to continue, you're going to have to carry me. And it was really like me surrendering the white flag. And I heard this little subtle voice of God just say, you know, don't forget you waved the white flag. So back in Cleveland, I waved the white flag. So literally, this is God carrying me ever since then. And so New York, jump on the scene, being one of the top linebackers. Then last year, you know, one of the top linebackers on one of the better defenses, and then now, and the ceilings just keep going. And it's like, at the end of the day, I can't do nothing. I can't take no credit for it. Like, all the glory goes to him. All the glory goes to him, because I waved the white flag years ago, and so literally I'm on God's time now, and there's no place I'd rather be.
Were you,
know,
always
so,
the kind of guy who would have stepped in and taken over that huddle, or is that something that's new in the last couple of years too, like the way you
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a vocal guy. I've never been, ashamed of, being the main man who if something needs to be said, saying it, or being a vocal guy in the middle or standing out in the spotlight. I never had a problem with that. But leadership is also about timing, and so, coming here, I knew my role. I was a leader on the defense, but it's Drew's team, and it's been that way, and I have no problem. Like, that's why I came. I came here to be a part of his team and help him get that Super Bowl, and so. When he went down and he called me up and told me to step in for him, it was, it wasn't no problem. It was my moment to do that and to be that for the team. And it was me who went to him like before he even came back, because I didn't want to do it solo. Like, let's collab. And I told him if he ever wants to huddle back, he can take it, And so, but I think he enjoys the collab. The team enjoys the collab, and man, what a blessing, man. It's you can't make this energy nowhere else, man. You can't buy this energy. It's the real thing.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy, man. God bless you, man. Love you, man. Yes, man. You just keep being, buddy.